Hello, Ridgeview Blazers. We meet again. This video is on our discipline, and as we've been trying to do our thing, get lit. So let's get lit about discipline. Please remember that discipline should not be a punishment. It should be a way to teach students to do the right thing the first time. We don't want to punish any student if not necessary. We are trying to work on positive reinforcement, and I will have forms coming out later to do positive referrals. So we do have zero tolerance issues. You can read those there. Of course, if students are found with drugs and alcohol, weapons, they are fighting their sexual misconduct, disruptive behavior, gang activities, bullying, intimidation, and harassment. This district has a zero tolerance issue on those situations, which pretty much means that we have no other choice but to possibly recommend them for expulsion. The only thing I can say about disrespectful behavior, and I do want to bring that up, is please understand that we don't want any student to disrespect you in any shape or form. You are the adult, and we ask that you be that adult and don't argue back with the student. Pull them to the side quietly and, say, what, can I speak to you after class? I understand you're upset. Let's talk after class. If the student still doesn't want to listen to that and you can't resolve the issue, then, your first goal is to teach your classroom. So we ask that you call for an administrator so that we can come and assist you in helping that student get back on an even keel. So we have dress code violations, so you can see what's expected. As you can see on the left side of the screen is the wrong thing. We don't do shoulder straps. We don't like visible cleavage. A lot of girls like to expose their midriffs. If you can see, these little halter shirts are really popular. And of course, short shorts or even short skirts. And definitely no hats, no bandanas, no scarves on your head, exposed garments, in other words, or as they say, it's not garments, they're gym shorts or they're shorts. No sagging pants. We try not to have any sagging pants at all. No chains. Definitely what's not shown in here is no inappropriate logos or icons or drawings on shirts or pants, or I've even seen illegal stuff on socks. We ask that they dress appropriately all the time so it's conducive to learning. A more detailed situation is right here. You can read over those later, pause the video, but it's pretty much what you see in the screen on the last picture. ID badges. Please, we are working on ID badges as we speak. They must be worn at all times. Once we send you an email that says all students have IDs. They must be in plain sight. Some students don't like to wear lanyards, so they buy a clip, and that's okay, but we must be able to see this ID in plain sight. The only places they don't have to wear ID is when they're in PE and when they're doing lab because of, dangerous situations, that could cause some safety hazards. They should not be defaced. A lot of them don't like to take their picture or don't like their picture, so they cross it out, and then they'll put a sticker on it, or they'll use a marker. We do have temporary stickers available. They can be obtained in the library commons before school. I forgot to put the late start time, but as I said, usually between 8 and 8:35 in the morning, and then on Wednesdays, of course, between 9 o'clock and 9:25. Teachers should issue the short discipline forms that you should have received in your box to any student that walks in your classroom with an ID, because that becomes their ID. If they don't have an ID, they're not going to be able to eat lunch because you need they'll be able to eat, but the cafeteria needs that ID number. So if you see someone in your class that does not have an ID on, please give them that short discipline form, because they need it for the cafeteria, they need it for the kiosks going around the school where they can purchase food, and they definitely need it for library commons. If they want a replacement ID, it costs $6. They have to pay, really, it's $5. They pay $5 for the ID, and if they want a lanyard, that's an additional $1. Tardies to class. Students arriving to class after the bell rings must be sent to the tardy station to get a pass. Freshmen will go to Blazer Academy, and all other students will report to the station in front of the small gym. The only exception is if you receive a pass from a student and it came from an administrator, a counselor, the nurse, or the SRO. Please remember, teachers, you are not allowed to give passes to students to be late for subsequent classes. So if you're taking a test and that student happens to not be finished, you just have to offer another time for them to come back to finish up the test, or send it to test and tutoring, whatever it might be that they try to stay in that class. You can't give a pass to give a student permission to be late for another teacher's class. Students who receive tardy slips receive 1 hour detention each time they get one. Not for the day, but for the entire the class period. I forgot to add also that if they are more than 20 minutes late for your class, you will mark them absent, and most likely they will be sent to the ISS room for at least that period. And if it's a block class, it's still that period, and they're returned in the middle of the block. They have 7 calendar days to do assigned detention. If they don't do assigned detention, then that goes to the administrator, who then determines what the situation will be or the consequence will be. Also, it's a possibility, depending on how excessive students, the same student has tardies, then it could result in suspension. Our goal is to keep them in class, so hopefully they will want to stay there. Hall passes. You should have received these as well. Some of the classrooms already have purple plastic hard passes. Each hallway has a different color. To know what color is your hallway, please look at the open bulletin. If you do not have a plastic colored pass in your room, please see Dr. Thomas. He can order some more of those. The hall pads that should have been in your box this week. But if not, and you need more, you can definitely ask the main office staff there in the main office. Please, 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 please do not send students out of the room without a pass. I understand that the restroom may be right next to your door, but they need a pass to go to the restroom, because what ends up happening is when the administrator or someone stops in the hallway to look for their pass and they don't have them, we're going to send them back to your classroom or escort them back to your classroom to get a pass. Electronic communication devices. Of course, we have our Chromebooks, kids have cell phones. These are prohibited in the classroom unless they are used for educational purposes. They are permitted in free zones, hallways, and cafeterias. Earbuds, headphones may not be used while moving throughout the campus. I got to get some permission, but students are permitted to wear one earbud, but not both. So, just to call, usually they put one, they loop them over their ear. So, but in the hallway when they're walking and they're moving around, we ask them not to have the earbud in both ears. Violation of ECD policy. If a student violates your policy the first time, then you would just contact the parent. The second time, we ask you to submit a long discipline referral and submit that to their administrator. Students who have repeat violation may have other consequences, such as removing them from the class, confiscating their ECD. There's a possibility that we will we definitely will contact the parent and guardian and let them know that if it is confiscated, that then they have to come up and get it, or it's a possibility the student will not get it to the end of the day. Severe violations may result in further disciplinary action if the minor ones we try to do does not work. Technology use. Students were expected to sign a RUP, which is Responsible Use Procedures, pretty much saying that they will not instant message or chat. There will be no, you can't vandalize, in other words, break your equipment. This includes also loading software. You know, if the software wasn't there in the first place and it's not something educational that the classroom teacher asked them to download, like an app, there's lots of apps that are educational, then that is considered vandalism of the equipment. We ask that the teachers do not assign technology, although this is a one-to-one school, but please try not to assign technology that is not educational to students when you are not there. And please definitely do not allow them to go to computer labs with a substitute teacher. Health room and medication. Students are permitted in the health room only if they have a pass from you or an administrator. But most if you send a student to the health room, please make sure you give that student a pass. What happened is the health room teacher nurse will sign the pass back to let you know when the student left. All emergency information and vaccine forms must be updated in the health room so that we are aware of any medical issues that students may have, as well as all medications must be kept and taken in the health room. Students should not have medicine bottles on them persons at all. This includes aspirins. School dismissal. Yes. The last thing. Remember, you should be teaching from bell to bell. Please do not allow students to gather around your classroom door waiting for the bell to ring. Do not dismiss students from your classroom 15 minutes after the bell rings to start class and 15 minutes before the bell rings to dismiss class. Remember, the school day ends at 3:35, not 3:30. But when that bell rings, students must leave campus immediately unless they have tutoring or other school-sponsored activities. Buses often wait and are at the bus loop, well before the students get out of school. But around about 3:45, the first buses start to leave. So please do not hold students once school is dismissed, because that bus may be their only transportation. Well, that's it for discipline. Anything you need to talk to me about, I'm always here. You can send me an email. You can come by the office. My door is always open. I hope you have a great year, and see you around.